One of the most frustrating parts of looking for a job after a career break is the dreaded resume gap. But what if I told you there's a way not to just fill the gap, but to turn it into a magnet for interviews and job offers? It's called strategic volunteering, and it's what I used to land multiple job offers after my career break. In this video, I'm going to show you how and why it works, along with showing you where you can find opportunities no matter where you live. What is strategic volunteering? Well, it's simply volunteering with the intention of learning about new companies or industries, the intention of developing new skills or abilities. Essentially, it's selecting an opportunity where you also have something to gain. And now the benefits of strategic volunteering are plentiful. One is that you have the ability to learn about companies and industries you might not have ever had the opportunity to be a part of. Personally, I volunteered for a variety of organizations, from the Shed Aquarium to Dress for Success to a financial literacy nonprofit. And now, some of these organizations, I would have never gotten my foot in the door if I had just applied for a position. But when I volunteered, I had the opportunity to learn about these industries and companies from a behind the scenes perspective. Strategic volunteering also allows you to either develop or hone your skills. The beauty of volunteering is that a lot of the time they are willing to train you. So if you have interest in something but don't have the skills in that area, volunteering allows you to get those skills. Also, strategic volunteering is wonderful for making connections. When you volunteer, you are going to meet people from all walks of life, from board members of the organization to fellow volunteers. The number of people and the breadth of those people is numerous. And I've always said that connections are key when it comes to returning to the paid workforce. And this is a wonderful way to have a low pressure networking type of situation. And of course, strategic volunteering gives you experience to put on your resume to fill that resume gap. And when you do that, you are showing employers that not only do you have the experience, but you also have the drive because you took the initiative to seek out opportunities to learn. Let me know, what type of volunteering have you done, and have you used it to enhance your resume? And here is why strategic volunteering works so well. One is because experience is experience is experience. Look, I don't care if you are paid for a position or not. If you have done that role, then that is experience. And now I'm going to give you a quick story. I actually worked for a church, and one of my fellow employees decided to retire. Well, rather than posting her position as a paid position, the decision was made to post it as a volunteer opportunity. And so the person coming into that role was doing the exact same work that the previous person was. They just weren't getting paid for it. Now, that is a perfect example that work is work is work. Experience is experience is experience. And you can use that experience on your resume. And as I said before, when you do strategically volunteer, you are showing the company that you are taking that first step, that initiative to learn and to grow. And let me tell you, on the other side of the hiring table, or to those recruiters and managers, that looks good. And another reason strategic volunteering works is because it gives you clarity. You're able to take on a low risk opportunity. If you don't enjoy the volunteering position, you can either request to do something else within the organization, or you can step away. There's really no high risk when you decide to volunteer. And also, it can open your eyes to things that you might not have even known you were interested, which will allow you to continue learning down that path. And make sure to hit that like button below if you are getting value from this video. Now I'm going to share my experience with strategic volunteering and how it landed me multiple job offers. A few months into my career break, I made the decision to volunteer for a financial literacy nonprofit. Now, financial literacy was something I had no experience in, but it always held an interest for me. So I volunteered to be a facilitator for financial literacy sessions. And at the orientation, I happened to meet the director. And at the time, I told her that I was on a career break and that if she had any other opportunities that I could help out with, I was able to do so. And now I did give her the parameters of my availability, which is also key for you because volunteering allows you to call more of your own schedule, which, if you're on a career break, especially if you're doing any type of caregiving, you know your time is precious. So you can set those boundaries. And I told her, I was available a couple hours a week, and if she had anything that she needed help with, to let me know. Well, it turns out she did. She needed help with volunteer coordination. And I said, sure. And so for the next couple of months, I helped out with coordinating the volunteers as well as doing some facilitation on and off again. And now I listed all of this on my resume, and I started landing interviews. And I noticed I started landing interviews when I started putting this experience on my resume. I eventually landed a job offer. I actually had another offer, but it was like for really low ball, so I didn't even consider that one. But this other one I was really interested in, and I went to tell the director that I was looking at this opportunity and that I would have to step back from that role. And then, well, all of a sudden, this volunteer position was going to have the potential to turn into a paid position. And while I was offered that paid position, I ended up going with the company I had already said yes to. And at that moment, I realized the power that strategic volunteering has. And now for you, I want you to think of areas that you're interested in, areas that you could possibly volunteer in. And remember, volunteering doesn't have to take hours and hours of your week. You can volunteer on a project basis, you can volunteer on a monthly basis, quarterly basis, whatever fits into your schedule. And don't forget about the volunteer experience you already have. I led a session of women who were looking to return to the paid workforce, and afterwards, one of the women came up to me and she says, "You know what? I have been volunteering at my children's special needs camp for the past 10 years, but I never would have thought to put that on my resume." But here's the thing, everything she was doing, coordination, event planning, logistics, all of that was so amazing for a number of different positions. And just flipping in her mind that her volunteer experience was just as valuable as paid work experience helped her to see how that can help her in her job search moving forward. Now, if you are interested in doing some strategic volunteering, but you don't know where to start looking for opportunities, I suggest volunteermatch.com. All you have to do is type in your area, and up will pop a variety of opportunities. And some of these are virtual as well. And now these opportunities are vast. I have seen opportunities for HR advisors, content creators, podcasters, photographers, program coordinators, even hardwood floor refinishers. If you have an interest, there's a strong possibility that there is an opportunity out there for you. So make sure to check out volunteermatch.com and let me know what you find. Now, if you're wondering how to talk about your career gap in an interview, make sure to check out my video here.